It's tea drinking and tea spilling time. Good morning to you. Welcome to Island Tea. I've got AZ in the building. AZ, what's up?
Hey, good morning. Good morning to everyone listening. This is a beautiful, beautiful Wednesday morning here in St. Kitts and Nevis. So you're tuning in with Island Tea with me, and also Jamsto. I want to say that, my co-host Candisie Franklin could not be here this morning because she has prior engagements. And however, I want to, start off the morning program with something positive, as we often like to highlight is a positive tea. And so we want to leave you with something positive. And before, I've often spoken about positive affirmations, having these words. And you know what I find very interesting is that words have power, yes, but we have the celebrity J-Lo. She is thinking her 50s and she is looking very youthful. And I was reading an article yesterday where she would have given some tips. And one of the tips that she gave was that in the morning when she wakes up, she speaks to herself positively, saying that she is beautiful and timeless. She is youthful at any age. I think that was the affirmation. I am youthful at any age and I am timeless. So it shows that these affirmations, these positive words of encouragement, they are not only used by, persons across the world, but specifically they're used by, persons you might not even realize use them, like celebrities.
But actually, I've been playing this song from Mary J. Blige's new album. It's the title track of the album, which perfectly sums up what you just said, that J-Lo has been saying. Good morning, gorgeous. Yeah, the track is called Good Morning, Gorgeous. I was saying the Mary J. Blige track is called Good Morning, Gorgeous.
Yes.
The title track from a new album.
Exactly.
So, it perfectly sums up that.
So,
and our theme song.
Yeah.
You know the name of the song, right? That it's from. It's a Kittitian soca artist. Okay, Bernardo Phipps. The song is called Happiness.
Oh, Happiness.
So this was the instrumental I decided to use.
Oh, you mean?
Yeah, this.
Okay.
Yeah. It goes, all my friends and family, we want happiness.
Okay, and you said that's Kittitian? Or?
Yeah, Bernardo Phipps.
Okay.
Yeah. Big up Bernardo.
Yes, big him up.
Yeah.
Indeed, so positive affirmations. I want persons to get into the habit of these because they're very powerful. And positive
Absolutely.
affirmations are short phrases that are often repeated to encourage positive thought, happy feelings, and attitudes. They are meant to challenge negative thoughts you may have about yourself and allow you to improve your self-talk. 4 tips for getting started. Understanding how to effectively practice positive affirmations is just as important as knowing what to say. Here are a few tips. Make your affirmation short. This will help you remember them and make them easier to repeat. Try taking a few minutes to repeat them to yourself in the morning and before each time before bed. You can say them out loud. You can write them down in a journal. Keep them in the present tense. For example, use I am statements to feel connected and aligned to each phrase. So I am. Try utilizing a powerful affirmation when you have a negative thought. For example, instead of reminiscing on a thought like, I am so bad at my job, it's no wonder I didn't get that promotion, try changing it to, I am fully capable of doing well at my job and improving each day. I have a great shot at being promoted one day. So you see how you could switch that. And so these are some 10 positive affirmations that you could use.
Speak it into existence.
Yeah, I am the best at being me. I am confident in my abilities and can achieve my goals. I am strong. Every day of life is another step forward towards positive changes. I can forgive myself and everyone else for not being perfect. I love myself unconditionally. I am strong and I can overcome any challenge in life. I deserve to have joy and fulfillment. I trust myself and I am full in control of my life. My life is a gift. So, considering what has transpired over the past days with these homicides, these killings, We're hearing of the tourists who would have died by snorkeling, during that snorkeling incident.
They haven't said they haven't given a reason for that yet, right?
Mhm.
That they have.
Well, I seen an article, but I didn't read it. I don't know if that's an update, but and then there's another story about the ship that capsized, the boat that capsized.
Yes.
And so I want to leave you this morning with this affirmation: my life is a gift. My life is a gift. My life is a gift. So remember, your life is a gift. And remember that you are to be grateful of the gift of life, because many persons didn't live to see this day. We don't know how long we have, and let's try to treat each day as a gift, because it is a gift and ought to be treated as such.
So I guess reading between the lines, we have to say that presumably those people drowned, right? Because, well, notice operative word, presumably.
Well, let's just be hopeful so far. And I know, just stick to the article that we have been given until further has been confirmed, because,
Getting a lot of calls. You want to take? Let's take
yes,
some
let's
calls.
take some calls.
Okay, callers, come on, Island T. It's funny. The phone start ringing. 2 seconds, and then it's like, oh, this guy's taking too long to answer the phone. 2 seconds.
Yeah.
And then it stopped ringing. There were two calls coming in. I was like, oh, it's taking forever. Okay, so let's see what happens.
Okay.
10 minutes after 8 o'clock. If you're just joining us for Island T, it's Hump Day, Wednesday, March 29.
Yes.
And we're heading up on Easter. We're heading up on mackerel and smoked herring and saltfish time and conky and coconut dumpling. Coconut dumplings.
Yes.
Let's get this straight.
The coconut dumplings.
You eat coconut dumplings, right?
Yes, I do.
Hey, you know they found was interesting.
But in moderation. Go
Apparently,
ahead.
apparently Jamaicans don't do coconut. I was surprised. Like I've tested them and like coconut dumplings. Oh no, we don't know. And it's funny because I always think of Jamaicans as being very innovative from a culinary aspect, right? And to realize this seems as the coconut dumpling thing is a St. Kitts thing.
But even so, when you go to Jamaica and you sample their dishes, and so you realize they don't have a huge emphasis on pies. Like in St. Kitts and Nevis, you want a macaroni pie, you want a corn casserole, you want a corn pie, you want a scallop potato pie, you want lasagna, you want so much variation.
Yeah, it's very African in that way because they'll eat like we consider dry food like the mash. I mean like
The
green-
sweet
green
potatoes,
bananas.
the dashi,
That's what they eat for
the
breakfast.
yams. Yeah, I actually think
Wow.
I actually like that, because when I was
Yeah,
in Jamaica, I actually
Complex carbs, man.
yeah,
like you're
it's-
always in the gym, you need complex carbohydrates.
it's
that
very
take-
helpful.
Yes.
It's very helpful, the
healthy,
complex
yeah.
carbs, as you say,
Yeah.
because they don't break down into fat easily, and so
Yeah.
they're able to be
Yeah.
reserved.
And then of course there's other like with the sweet potato, there's a whole bunch of other nutrients. In there.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, Jams, I'll just give you a secret. Sometimes I would buy my breakfast twice. I would buy 2 meals at breakfast and eat one for breakfast and then one for lunch. Because by the time you
Or
reach
in Jamaica.
Yeah,
Yeah.
in Jamaica. Because by the time you reach lunchtime, it's just rice and peas, rice and peas, rice and peas, rice and peas, and a different meat.
Curry goat and
So you might have rice and peas and curry goat. You might have rice and peas and stewed chicken. You have rice and peas and maybe jerk chicken. But the number one commonality is the rice and peas. And
Really?
at one point in
I'm
time,
surprised.
I just wanted to cut out. Even at this day, I tried to cut out my rice consumption.
And I always say the Jamaican, the Bajans overdo the pies.
Yeah,
Like macaroni pie
and
especially.
yeah, and then the Bajans is the flip because
Macaroni pie
they
with
have
everything.
the macaroni pie with everything. So they have the macaroni pie with the ketchup in there. But the
Yeah.
macaroni pie, I really enjoy it, to be honest.
Let's take a call. Hey, caller, go right ahead.
Yes.
Good morning.
Hey,
Good
what's
morning,
up?
gentlemen.
Good morning.
Oh, here's culture going to tell us about food now.
You all are my good friends, but you all in sound like I learn to cook yet.
Well, Jamso says that he one time he says he cooks.
He's lying. I don't know what he's going to say, but he's lying. Anyway, go ahead. Finish.
He says he cooks, but I know it wouldn't be the manliest thing for him, so he won't admit that he cooks and he's in
No,
the
I
kitchen.
do all the time.
Oh,
I say it all the time. I'm
Okay.
the chef.
if you ain't gonna cook and fungi, maybe Maybe you had to carry milk and sugar.
But actually though, my wife cooks the fungi. She takes pleasure in cooking the fungi.
Yeah.
I can't tell you the last time I cooked it. I mean I can cook it, but she usually does it. You like
Okay.
you like fungi?
Yeah, I like fungi.
Okay.
I think fungi is
Wait.
good.
With Jamster, practice while your wife is around you.
No, I know to cook it.
No man, he's a
Oh, you know, okay.
he's a
But
he's
she
a
likes
master
it.
chef.
She likes cooking it. So,
Okay, that's lovely.
Yeah.
Now, something I had to say when it was yesterday, but the time had gone. Now, I don't know why some people have a problem when we in these smaller islands around here. We make comparison with other countries who way advanced more than us. We learn a lot from those who know a lot of things before us. Where did we learn about traffic light? From St. Vincent,
good point.
Montserrat,
Good point.
America, England, Canada. Those big countries we learn from them. So when people try to draw an illustration with those countries and to us little islands here, nobody should vex and say, why are we going to America for this and Canada for that?
Yeah.
Because that to me that is being biased and one-sided.
I'm glad you brought it up because I remember the caller. Well, I take it. I take it in good faith. But
Yes.
what he should have said was that obviously we can't just take on everything wholesale. I mean,
Right.
and we have a tendency to always take on the worst aspects of a lot of the cultures that we look up to. I mean, we take on a lot of the worst aspects of Jamaican culture, American culture. We take on some of the good ones, but we can't just paint everything with the same brush.
Exactly.
To your point.
That's right. So when I hear people talking, I say, man, come on, man. Come on. The world has more than Caribbean countries. So we have to learn from them. Where we learn about television. In Montserrat.
Good point.
Yes.
Where we learn about radio. In
But
Dominica.
you realize that the world, we're just one people. We're just one
Right.
people. And, developments and technology, in one area affects us all because technology spread, information spread, knowledge spreads.
That's right. Anyway, I continue to listen. My tea soon done, so I want another cup of tea.
I thought you were calling to give us some Easter menu tips or something.
Oh yeah, well. You mean Easter menu to cook?
Yeah, I mean with a name like Culture, I was expecting
Well,
some hot tip.
Locally around Easter time, our tradition is to do not eat anything that make the blood visible. So, if you're gonna eat flesh, you must not see no blood. And our food is flour mixed with coconut or corn meal or cassava meal and whatever it is. But we dumpling and we saltfish and we potato and we yam. We ain't want no craft dinner. And
No.
we want conky, not no dukuna.
What's the difference
Conky
really?
think is the nearest language. Conky.
Conky.
Yes.
Okay.
Cause we mix with conky with corn meal, flour, coconut, and hot pepper in there too.
But they
That
don't.
is our thing.
But they don't do
Easter?
it. They don't do it the same way. The Antigans.
No. Every country got a different style.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, Culture. We have to
But
go
they're
take a
not-
break. It's
Yeah, okay.
8:17, and we'll hear from you later on, I'm sure.
Yes.
Okay, so let's take a quick break and come back.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
Strapped for
Oh, you
cash?
just said the
Get
difference.
Instacash. Payday late? Get Instacash. Have items new or used you don't need? Get cash for them at Instacash. We buy and sell quality new and used tools, electronics, jewelry, household items, and more. If you're strapped for cash, think Instacash. Sell an item for cash or buy an item. Ask about the convenient Instacash layaway plans and buyback options. Instacash is same-day cash, no credit checks, and guaranteed privacy. Get cash for your goods. Visit Instacash across from Caribbean Lotto in the Hospital Complex or call 465-0222 and 669-8390.
Maybe it's the way the brilliant gold liquid reflects our sunshine, or how the bright blue of its label mirrors the clear Caribbean skies overhead. Maybe it's the fresh, crisp taste of this beastly cold beer on a scorching hot day. Maybe it's even the way it brings us all together. But one thing is for sure, Carib is very much a part of who we are wherever we're from in the Caribbean. Carib, it's the way we play. Drink responsibly.
Birds one feather, stick together, just like Bonnie and Clyde. Love you forever, leave you never.
Welcome back from the break. So, some of the things that are happening as we look at St. Kitts and Nevis in the political realm, just I think yesterday we had further resignations of two key members of the People's Labour Party. We had the resignation, and it's dated the 25th of March 2023, and it's addressed to the then chairman of the People's Labour Party, Mr. Warren Thompson. And it says, and only pieces of the letter I have, because it was circulated, but I don't see the full, some of the edges are cut off. So he says, "Dear Mr. Thompson, you are aware that I have been a community activist and donor in the constituency my entire life. Whilst I was not a member of the People's Labour Party from its inception, I gravitated towards the party." Then it's cut off, but it goes on to say that they stood for the same principles and values that I always stood for. I contested as a candidate in the last election because I believe that I would be, and then it says, change in Constituency 8 under the leadership of Dr. Honorable Timothy S. Harris. Unfortunately, over the last few months, I have seen a change in the values of the party that is not in tune with mine. It is now becoming clear that we cannot agree on the basic democratic principles and values. I assume that that's what he says over there. And he goes on to say, regret that I tender my resignation from the party. I want to assure the people of Constituency 8 that I will remain resolute in service. And he says, cut off, and he says, opportunity that presents itself. And he goes on to say, I take this opportunity to thank all from their support to me and my family. And it says, regards, Andrew Talbot Bass. So that was a letter from the candidate for PLP in constituency number 8 for the last general election. The full letter was not, it was circulated, but some of the edges were cut off. But we get the same message about the principles and values. And then we had one from the chairman of the People's Labour Party.
And that's the very person that all these other resignees were sending
they were sending the letters to the chairman, and then now the chairman has resigned. So we have the letter from Warren Thompson, and he says, and he addresses his letter to Honorable Dr. Timothy Harris, and this is the 26th of March 2023. It says, from Warren Thompson, People's Labour Party National Party Chairman. And he says, I joined the People's Labour Party from the inception, volunteering at the Constituency 7 level. The PLP Constitution captured my interest at most, stating its core values for the people and democracy. And he goes on to quote Article 2, Aims and Objectives. And he says, Subsection 4, 5, and 6 stood out for me. And he goes on to quote these subsections. He says, democratic principles, integrity, accountability, and transparency generally and in public life. Subsection 5, a political culture of tolerance, mutual respect, civility, and enlightenment. Subsection 6, respect for every citizen and resident's right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. 6 years ago, I took the office of the National Party Chairman of the People's Labour Party with pride. A party that shared common concerns of citizens and residents. I was happy to be a part of the movement working towards a better nation. Sadly, the PLP light that once shone to the core values is now no longer shining, and I cannot continue to follow. Therefore, as of today, March 26, 2023, I resign as national chairman and will no longer be a part of the PLP membership. I wish the PLP party well going forward. Regards, Warren Thompson. And he has copied the National Party Secretary. So far we've seen the resignation of the former deputy political leader of the People's Labour Party. We've seen the resignation of former candidate Nubian Griot for constituency number 2. We've seen the resignation of former candidate for constituency number 8, Andrew Talbot Bass. And we've now seen the resignation of the party chairman, former chairman himself, Warren Thompson. So we've seen a number of resignations.
What do you think is going on in general terms? I mean, you're a politician yourself, so you might know your political instincts are razor sharp. Right
I am someone surrounded by it. Yes. It is clear that for me the message, and from gathering from an outside perspective, it seems that this would have been a discussion between these members, because you realize that the letters, although they are coming from different persons, and even the video by the former deputy political leader, all of them have a central message. The central message being that the PLP and its leader have strayed away from the core values and principles that they once believed in and once stood for. And so that is what I see coming out of it. Of course, there was an article by the People's Labour Party that says PLP experiencing detoxification and cleansing in preparation for renewal. Wow. And so the party I am assuming it's the party arm that has sent out this message, or a representative from the party's arm. That is my assumption. And, they have used it, and I guess they've spun a positive on it. They said the success of any organization, including political parties, not only depends on the quality leadership, but it also depends on the party's dynamism and ability to change and renew when and where necessary. Whether that change or renewal comes by will or by force, it must often than not.
So,
yeah.
Other than that, what are they trying to say exactly?
They're basically trying to say that they are in their renewal stage, the loss of these members.
No, but I mean, what are the members saying to maybe the head of the party or about? Well, you already said what they're essentially saying about the party. Well, what's the upshot of that as far as the leader and the founder of the party? What's that about?
Well, it appears to me that based on what we have seen, there is some consistency as it relates to persons leaving. I mean, I would hope that we at one point in time could have a representative from the People's Labour Party here, but based on the past instances, we see Dr. Harris has been a part of the Labour Party, and there would have been some division there between him and Dr. Douglas. You see that Dr. Harris then formed his Labour Party with members like Sam Conda and Terry Adams and the like, Douglas Watley as well, and you see where those original persons who were there from the inception, broke away. We see where the People's Action Movement was once with the People's Labour Party under the umbrella of Unity, and the People's Action Movement and the CCM broke away. And now we are seeing where it is that the People's Labour Party members itself, deputy leader, chairman, and former candidates have broken away. So it's going to be very interesting, I think, especially considering that the convention for the People's Labour Party has been announced for the June 27th. So I think it's going to be quite interesting to see who these new members and executive members would be, and also to see the crowd that would be gathered at the convention, recognizing that the People's Labour Party no longer has a seat at government.
Should tell us a lot. But one quick thing I wanted to get in before we go to the Social Security monthly wrap-up. Over in Nevis, the Premier had his press conference yesterday, and he announced that the office of the opposition, leader of the opposition, will be closed until the end of April, because obviously, technically, there is no leader of the opposition.
There's no leader of the opposition.
And he said until they sort their stuff out, it will remain closed. So I guess he's hoping that they'll sort things out by the end of April.
I think I think that is that's thinking very positively. Again, you see where there has been division in the NRP as well. So you've realized that within the recent times there have been many breakaways internally by political parties and members. So we're going to take a short break and get back to you.
Found the sound 98.9.
Need some quick extra cash? Play Pick 4 with the Caribbean Lottery for a chance to win up to $40,000. Simply place your bet of $1, $2, $5, or $10. Choose your preferred draw time and play style, then select 4 numbers or play Quick Pick. Visit thecaribbeanlottery.com for more on how to play and to see daily draw results. If your numbers match the draw numbers, you are a winner. Get your Pick 4 tickets today at the Caribbean Lottery agents island-wide. Must be age 21 and over to play. Life is unpredictable. Don't miss the opportunity to provide your loved ones with the financial protection and peace of mind coverage they deserve with the Family Indemnity Plan from Kuna Caribbean Insurance. The Family Indemnity Plan covers final expenses such as funeral costs and outstanding debt in the event you or your loved one passes away for up to $30,000. No medical examination is required. Contact your credit union or one of their approved Family Indemnity Plan providers to enroll today. To learn more, call 466-9453 or 762-2973. Visit their website at CunaCaribbean.com. Kuna Caribbean Insurance, for all people.
And we're back. We're due to be having Social Security's monthly wrap-up in a few minutes, but we'll continue chatting in the meantime. Easy.
Yeah, so we've seen over in Nevis where they have the closure, and of course, because there is the division where Cleon, Stapleton, Simmons, and Dr. Janice Hodge, they were no meeting of the minds, as to speak, and so I think it was funny in the article. Premier Brantley said, clearly the taxpayers have no ability to pay for 2 offices, and since it seems that the 2 members of the opposition could not come to any consensus, we wrote on the 20th of March 2023 to both of them, indicating that they were forced to close the office of the opposition until such time as clarity could be achieved, and so that office, we regret to advise, as we have indicated, will be closed as of the 30th of April. I hope that the press and members of the public will understand why we had to take this action, and I stand here today, ready and willing to resume some arrangements if and when the members of the opposition can get their house in order and can indicate to us how it is they expect to manage these resources, bearing in mind that these are resources from the taxpayers of the island of Nevis.
And the other thing is, I'm sure constitutionally, the NIA is under no obligation to obviously provide an office for the independent,
You
the
first
no
have-
independent.
Yeah, you first have to have a office holder, and there's no office holder for the position of leader of the opposition, and so with no office holder, there's no office, and so I guess the closure.
Let's
We have
take this call.
callers.
Yeah, let's take a call in the meantime. Caller, go right ahead.
Yeah, good morning. Sorry.
Hey, yeah.
Morning.
This is the cook. This is the cook who can
You
cook.
cook.
Yes.
Yeah, lawyer Azard.
Yes.
I have 2 jobs for you as a lawyer.
Mm-hmm.
So I need to get your office number.
No
So I
problem.
give it off the air whenever. Okay?
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah, I'll get back to you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you very much.
No problem.
Wow. See,
Uh-huh.
that worked.
Thank you.
So I hope somebody's gonna call me and give me a gig now.
I want to thank the studio of WINNFM for the opportunity.
I forgot to tell you, I played it for the footballer on Saturday.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, he was here.
Yes.
At a party. So.
Jamsa, you kept that from us.
No, it was a family thing.
It was a
Yeah,
family thing.
So. yeah. He was. I got a T-shirt and everything with his name. His name and his number. And
You know,
stuff.
I the reception, I think, was really nice.
Yes.
You know, and I'm sure he has fun moments of his experiences.
He said
His
he went,
experience
yes.
here in St. Kitts and Nevis, and
And
that's
what
something good.
he did something that he did. I don't know if we had spoken about this before,
Mhm.
about you know this reading promotion drive he was doing in South Carolina where he lives. He did something similar. He said he did something similar in Nevis.
Yes.
When he went over to Nevis to visit, there's a picture with him and Mr. Brantley and who's the other person? Some other person, yeah. So he said he did that reading promotion thing, which I actually had told his aunt when I saw the article about South Carolina. I told his aunt, I said, actually, that's so it's possible. I didn't ask her, but it's possible she told him because I told her, I said, that would be something to promote here as well, because I don't think people read enough, and the kids need to probably get affirmation about reading and encouragement from somebody successful, let's say.
Yeah.
Not that, I mean, you know what I mean.
I know.
Yeah. So it's good that he got to do that thing. I'm not sure if he got to do it in St. Kitts, because I don't think it was on the schedule for St. Kitts, but I think they may have done it in Nevis. I think that's what he said.
Yeah, and of course, as you say, having that inspiration from someone who is so widely known would really add motivation for persons to take up that.
So it looks as though well, we don't have the Social Security representative yet, but let's just let them know what we have coming, folks. We're going to be having farm report today.
Yes.
So we will have a farmer today, so that should be interesting. So at 9 o'clock we have the farm report, and we have at 9:30 we have the Sugar City Toastmasters, and we have a very interesting clip we want to play for you with a Jamaican doctor, kind of tongue-in-cheek, poking fun at all the stuff that the old people, the old grandparents and our aunts, all the stuff they used to tell us about when they try to weigh in on medical matters.
Yes.
I think you guys will find that interesting. So,
But before we go there, there's an update. Esken and
no, we're not doing that.
Oh,
no, we might even have to do that tomorrow.
Yeah.
Looking at the schedule.
Yeah. Following up on Loop News, Esken, okay, there are 14 Cameroonians among group rescued following boating mishap. So he says the Royal St. Kitts and Nevis Defence Force confirmed that persons who were rescued this morning, meaning yesterday, from a sinking vessel were Cameroonians and Antiguans. So commander of the St. Kitts Nevis Defence Force, Major Quamery, told reporters this afternoon, which was that yesterday afternoon, that 14 Cameroonians and 2 Antiguans were brought to shore after being rescued at sea. So we have an update as to the nationalities of these individuals. So far they are majority Africans.
Yes, that was another presumption I made that seems to be turning out to be correct.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, based on what was released by the Antigua. You saw the thing with the Antiguan Prime Minister.
Yeah.
Preston Dawn,
Yeah.
Well, it's time for the Social Security monthly wrap up. That's coming up momentarily.
Yes.
Getting sure to be sure of your benefits. Sickness and maternity, I'll tell you about the rest of it. Survivors grant your spouse and kids get the best of it. Let me mention pension when you're 62. When you're done work hard and retired, this is what to do. Listen, this Social Security is working for all your benefits. Funeral grant to help every one of your relatives. Come register for this Social Security. Social Security. So every time you get your pay, Social Security.
Yes. Thank you. Hi. So we have with us. She is no stranger to the media, radio, or even social media. We have Miss Lawrence from Social Security, and we're going to have our Social Security talk right now. How are you doing? I like that. I like. Yes, I love that. So, she has said that anything less will be uncivilized.
Correct.
Yes.
Good morning, listeners. Last month I think you missed me. I had to send someone else. I was out of office, but I enjoy the engagement. I like to talk to people, and especially about things that I am passionate about.
Yes.
And I'm very passionate about the work we do at Social Security. I'm always reminded of stories that were told by former Minister of Social Security, Honorable Sam Kondo, who said he recalled seeing people standing by banks, and he said Barclays Bank, waiting for working persons to come out so that they can beg and ask for something to go on. And the framers of Social Security, our national heroes, so Robert Llewellyn Bradshaw, saw that this was an indignity to people who would have worked hard in the sugar fields and extended into other areas of employment as we grew. But when they retired, they were forgotten.
Yes.
There was no income, and so they had to continue to toil. I remember when my grandmother was 70, her back was bent
Hold on.
because she worked.
Yeah.
My mother is 70 and nothing fresh and spunky like her,
Oh wow.
right? And she would say things to me like, recently she told me she wanted an air fryer.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, why do you want an air fryer? And she said to me, young lady, no, she'd have called me Dimissy.
Yes.
Dimissy, you can't tell me what to do with my pension money. Social done put it on, and is that I say I want, so bring it.
And you see, she's even with the air fryer is to take out, I guess, because it's the air frying it somehow, and it's less oil, so you know it has health benefits. Yeah.
And I guess she just want a new gadget. So the lady said to me,
Yes.
Dimissy, go by the bank and bring me pension money.
Yes.
That's the dignity she has.
Yes.
She doesn't have to depend on me, because if it was up to me, she wasn't going to get the air
You
fryer.
better, you better step, girl. You better step.
She wasn't going to get the air fryer,
Yes.
but that's the assurance, and that's my life experience. My mother didn't work for a lot of money,
Yes.
but she has the assurance of her pension every single month without fail, 45 years later. And that's where we are with Social Security. Now, we are at a very critical stage of our development. We are 45 years old. And I like to put things in context and relatability,
Yes.
so we could feel and see and appreciate what we have in our Social Security system. Now, as a maturing fund, you're going to start to have aches and pains. I remember I used to go out every weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, bounce and bubble in the dance. Then got on social Monday morning, Miss Lawrence, you respect me, right? But on the weekend,
Yes.
that was me.
Mm-hmm.
Now I have to say, boy, me ain't going Friday, you know, 'cause I'm tired from work. Then Saturday, I'm debating between Saturday and Sunday because Sunday I'm going to feel tired to go work.
Yes.
And so that is how we are at Social Security. We are changing, and things have to change. It's a
Yes.
part of our demographics, it's a part of our life cycle. You have a baby, and then you have an adult, and then you have an adult who is a baby.
Yes.
That's the life cycle. And so
I
we
like
have,
the adult who is a baby.
yeah, we have to bolster.
That's a good way to put it.
I like to give you visuals so you can see, feel, and
Yes.
appreciate what we have in our Social
You know,
Security.
you know what's funny, Camila? After you gave that the vignette about your mom, right? I was going to compliment you and say, you know, I love the way you make you do this outreach for Social Security and you make it relatable. And then you said it like you actually use the same word.
I'm intentional.
30 seconds later. So I think you did a pretty good job
Thank you.
of getting people to recognize how important Social Security is and how important it is to contribute as well, especially when you have the
Yes, and you know, I like to say that Social Security is not a sexy topic. It's not something that you're gonna, oh, let me hear what's going on. But if we bring it to in a way, package it in a way that it's relatable, and it's people you know and you could see, and we are living the experience. Because I don't want, after I talk all these 21 years now that I'm serving Social Security, that when I'm pensionable, I'm told no money there.
Exactly. And if you look at what is happening in France,
Around the world.
France has the president of France has been very aggressive in raising the age of pensioners from 62 to 64, and he basically the community, the protesters, France is in an uproar with the raise.
Good.
Because it means that now they have to wait longer.
You see? But no, this is not new to Social Securities. This is how Social Security is able to continue.
Yes.
We have to make adjustments because in 1978, when Social Security started, it was based on the demographics of that working population, right? They used to have more children. My grandparents had 7.
My grandmother had like 9, I think.
Okay.
and you just alluded to not the problem, but you just alluded to the trend when you said your mother's mother was, you know, her back was bent. I know your mother is 70 and she's like a young person.
Young.
So it follows the reason that Social Security organizations all around the world would have to.
It's a living organism. And I think sometimes when we speak Social Security, those of us who are not like closely related, you feel like it's something distant. It has nothing to do with you.
Yes.
You're going to get there when you get there, if you ever get there.
Yes.
But we have to think about how we are going to get there. And we have to hold the practitioners, meaning me, administrators, the government, accountable and say, look, it's time we do something, you know, because you ain't gonna tell me this in a couple of years. And so this topic of Social Security reform has been around for our local experience since about 2005. We're talking Social Security reform. And it's intentional too. We have to put the messaging out there. At some point, you're not going to be able to do all the things you do. I'm telling you, my knees never used to hurt me. Me ain't gonna make a knees no more. They hurt. Right?
Yes.
And then you start to see a 1-2 gray hair, and you're like, wait, when this happened? Things change.
Yeah.
And I was saying the demographics then, our grandparents had more children.
Yes.
My mother had 4. I got 1 and done.
Yes.
You understand? And some people choose not to have any children. So the contributor base is smaller.
Yeah.
While the pensionable base is bigger. Because we're living longer.
Yeah.
Healthcare has improved. My grandmother back was bent because she had to work hard. My mother don't have to work hard. She choose to work.
Yes.
And so we have health. We have improved health. We are more conscious about what we're doing. So the life experience of our grandparents is not ours.
Exactly.
And so our children don't expect us to be irresponsible and don't build on those fundamental principles. put in place since 1978.
Yeah. And even the last Social Security talk that we had, there were some recommendations that were being put forward as to how the program and what the policy is could now be reformed.
Yes, and that's where we are, and that's going to be the content of my conversations perhaps for the rest of the year, because we need to get persons educated. In France, I don't know if this thing came overnight, because this is not unique to St. Kitts.
It actually didn't come over.
Exactly.
I think what they did, they lowered it down to, I think, at 60 at one point in time, and I think that was a past president, and no one really wanted to touch it, knowing that he had to go up.
Exactly. Exactly. And we recently had a breakfast meeting where we brought stakeholders together, because we're celebrating 45 in February, and our observance will go down until maybe July, and something for the elderly later on in October, right? And so we have a meeting. We had a meeting where we brought all the stakeholders together and said, look, we have the actuary on island, and he's going to tell you what the state of Social Security is, what the recommendations are. You cerebral off?
Yeah,
but
because when you the state of security, Social Security, you realize that even during elections, it's a big topic, saying whether or not we would have access to funds when we get older.
And that's one thing that should never be politicized.
Yes.
Because Social Security affects everybody.
Correct.
Whether you're on this side, that side, in the middle, or a non-participant, this is a very serious institution. Matter of fact, we are the largest safety net in the Federation, and we are the second most sustainable fund in the OECS. We are second to St. Lucia only because they're bigger than us. We are the smallest and the most sound. We have 1.7 billion in reserves, but we are growing.
Yes.
And I can tell you, last year, we had over 120 million paid out in benefits.
Yeah.
You hear how much that be? And we didn't collect that from contributors. We collected about, these are unaudited figures.
Yes.
So I don't want nobody to quote me as saying XYZ, but I'm just giving you a picture so you can have appreciation. In about collections, we had maybe about 90 million, somewhere there. Of course, we have other types of income, investment income and such. But just to give you the picture, far more going out than what's coming in. And COVID would have affected that, but time always show this is what it's going to be. You have more people who are living longer, more people who are eligible. Your pension and benefit base will be bigger, but your pool of persons coming into the fund is smaller. So we have to fix it in order to make sure it's available to us.
Yes.
So next week, Tuesday, we are having a virtual panel discussion, the 4th of April at 7 p.m. The Zoom link is available on our Facebook page. We're also sending invitations out. We want people to come in the room. We're having a live audience at Social Security, just about maybe 30 persons, but we want people to come in the room and ask questions of the panelists.
Wow.
The topic is the future of Social Security. Big, heavy stuff, but it is important stuff. You know, we like to go to all the nice dressed up things and so on, but if we ain't on a Social Security, we can't dress up to go.
and you see how important it is in, for example, the US, how they're always, the politicians use it as a political football. They talk about, Social Security is going to run out of money on this date and at that. So it shows how important it is that it can actually be used as a political football
Yes.
to get people to vote on.
It has been used even here in St. Kitts.
But
and Nevis.
this Prime Minister has announced in his comments at the stakeholders meeting that he has seen the ball kicked, and I like the visual. Did he say the can? He saw the can kicked.
Yes.
Kicked further, and stopped being kicked because nobody wants to pick up the ball.
Yes.
And he has a responsibility, and he's going to take the step to pick up the ball because it is needed.
Yes.
And so it would be irresponsible if we don't do anything to secure, to maximize the value of our Social Security fund.
Definitely.
So as we do external reform, there will be internal reform. There are things that we need to do to strengthen our Social Security. We're not perfect, and we are calling on the public to ask us those hard questions, to hold us accountable, to engage us, to invite us out. Others go to church, others go to girls' night out, to schools, to workplaces, wherever people say they want to have a conversation and they invite us, I go, we go. So
Right.
we are not inaccessible, and we are quite relatable. So we could have a conversation. We could talk figures.
That word again.
We could talk figures if you want statistics, or I could give you with layman's so that you can see and appreciate where we at. No, as I say, on the 4th, the topic is the future of Social Security, virtual panel discussion, and the panelists are our CFO, Miss Marilyn Johnson. She will be talking about the history, the overview of Social Security, not just St. Kitts, but regionally, worldwide as well. And then we have the legal framework, political framework, structures administration, and that will be presented by Dr. Valda Henry. That's the Deputy Governor of the Central Bank. And then we have Executive Director and an actuary from the St. Vincent and the Grenadines Social Security. It's called National Insurance Services in that country. He will be on board as well to present on trends, what we're seeing, what's happening in Social Security. And to bring it closer home, and it will be moderated by Everett Weber Herbert, that sound, calm voice from Von Radio. So we have brought the persons together, and we just need the people to show up and to be included and to log on, to hear, to see, to comment, hold us accountable,
Yeah, and
participate in the conversation.
You could do it so from the comfort of your own home.
Yeah, wherever you are, you can log on Zoom. We're also going to be streamed live on Facebook, YouTube, and so on. So we're making sure that the information is there. We just want people to access it, right? So that's what's happening at Social Security. And let me see what else. That's what's happening as it relates to reform. We're also going to start our primary schools tour in April. That's something I'm very excited about. Every second term, we're going to the primary schools, and we introduce the topic of Social Security to our primary school students. We think it's important that even at a young age, children can have some understanding of what it is like to have Social Security, what it was like to not have a Social Security. We do some role play, so they get to see good employers, bad employers, tricksy employees, some who collude with their employers not to pay Social Security, and we have some good fun. So that's what we're doing in April. I want to take the time also to encourage our overseas pensioners to use, we have WhatsApp verification, where you can call in. We see your face via video, and we say, okay, you're alive, you will get your pension this month. If you don't do it, we're going to stop. Because we don't want to be putting monies in accounts that someone has deceased and so on. So where they use the notary before, since COVID, we've introduced WhatsApp video verification, so they can call at 869-662-8479. Or if you have a customer service related question, you can also use that number. And for PR, to reach me, anybody from the PR team, that's 667-2535. We answer WhatsApp, we answer your calls. We try to remain as accessible as possible to answer those persons' questions.
Okay, well, 3 minutes on till 9 o'clock, and that's the Social Security wrap-up for March.
Yes.
And I got to give you some props for that very progressive approach to authentication. WhatsApp video. I mean, everybody has a phone. Pretty much everybody.
It
Pretty
makes
much
it very
everybody has.
accessible.
Thank you.
So, carry on. Yeah.
All right, until next time, guys, remember to pay your contributions in full and on time. Employers, I'm speaking to you. Self-employed, you have a responsibility to pay for yourself. And employees, check. Just like how you check your WhatsApp status to see what's going on with people, check to see what's happening with your Social Security contributions. Until then, we keep looking up for your benefits.
Thank you so much.
And happy Easter.
Thank
Yes,
you. Have
happy
a great
Easter.
one.
Yes.
Survivors grant your spouse and kids get the best of it. Let me mention pension when you're 62. When you're done work hard and retire, this is what to do. Listen, this social security is working for all your benefits. Funeral grant to help every one of your relatives. Come register for this. Social security. Social security. So every time you get your pay.
WINN is 98.9. 98.9 is Win FM.
This is your boy, Super Andy Handy, with your Super Handy Andy deals at Horsford's Building Center for the month of March. 10-gallon wet dry vacuum was $961.11, now only $860.94. Combination hammer was $1784.62, is now just $1516.93. 18-inch standing fan with remote was $320.51, is now reduced to $272.43. 100-foot extension cord with light was $533 cents, is now only $425.19. Ball knob door handle set was $315.77, is now $268.51. Super handy Andy deals at Horsford's Building Center for the month of March only, making home improvement easy.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9 Win FM.
Do you want to improve the quality of your water? Is buying bottled water costing you a fortune? Say no to bottled water and yes to Tap Water Caribbean and Espo Water Solutions. We offer eco-friendly filtration products such as our Ultra Filter or our Bottle Pro for at home or on the go. Fill up anywhere. We also have a Shower Pro designed to protect and give you healthy skin. Visit us today at tapwatercaribbean.com or on Facebook and Instagram. Let's drink clean, pure, healthy water together. Remember, go green, save money, and save our planet.
It's 2 minutes after 9 o'clock, and this day part is brought to you by Tap Water Caribbean, and we're standing by for the farm report. We also have a farmer joining us this morning, and hopefully he'll show up at some point. And we'll be chatting with the farmer for the half hour. Coming up at 9:30, we got the Sugar City Toastmasters. Easy.
Yes. Good morning. So we had a very interesting talk about Social Security and the importance of Social Security.
She's like the perfect PR person.
Yes, yes,
you know, like everything. Because when she was telling that story, I said that is like such a relatable story, and it perfectly illustrates the point, like the points that she constantly has to make,
Mm-hmm.
and it's good when you can illustrate a point organically, you know, like
Yes.
that. And I'm sure she has all kind of other stories to reinforce the the PR position of Social Security. So yeah,
Yeah.
big up to Camila.
And
Yeah, go
you
ahead.
know, the Department of Gender Affairs, Nevis, recognized 7 women who have been making significant contributions to the island of Nevis in various sectors, Jamster. So on the International Women's Month Awardees 2023, Miss Diana Brown in the category of Digital Economy, Miss Kenisha Lewis in the category of Green Economy, Miss Melissa Allen in the category of Blue Economy, and Miss Tamesia Lestrade in the category of Orange Economy.
Blue economy is like fishing, right?
I think so.
Fishing? Yeah. Okay.
Miss Deslane Johnson was the recipient of the Minister's Award for Empowerment and Protection of Families, and Mrs. Kimberly Evelyn Lazarus received the award in the category of Women in Non-Traditional Roles, while Dr. Louise received the award in the category of Women in Science. 2 other individuals, Miss Kristen Springett and Dr. T. Von Brown, were certified as the 2023-2024 Gender Champions. Springett and Brown will be attached to the Department of Gender Affairs.
Okay, that sounds good. 4 minutes after 9 o'clock, folks. Good morning to you. It's Island T,
Yes.
wherever you are. Like I said, we are waiting the arrival of a farmer, and we're going to be discussing farm report. One of the things I want to ask is to go on the record and say exactly why they didn't show up last week. Because remember last week we were talking about how if what they said, if what we were told last week is true,
Yeah.
you would think that the farmers were here when they were here, and they expressed their desire for to be able to farm, I guess, to be able to farm with the appropriate help from the authorities. And you would think that they would come on and just in good faith express their frustrations, and you would expect that they would, if what they said was true, that you would expect that the reaction would have been the opposite. They would have been like, okay, maybe we've been a little lacking in our in our support. What it is that you need.
And the thing about it, that is, we have supposed to have a free and democratic state, but obviously, persons are afraid to speak on certain issues, and with reason, and we could understand why, because even if it's not the members in parliament themselves, the association and the supporters, they would have some sort of backlash.
I mean, the thing is, you would think, a lot of times the politicians, they give lip service to, we're open to your ideas. They have town hall meetings, they meet with their constituents. I am sure all those micro meetings with constituents are basically the same thing those farmers were doing when they were on the show a few weeks ago in microcosm, right?
Yes.
It's like, listen, I've been trying to do so and so, and I've been to this person, I've been to this functionary so many times, and nothing has happened. It's basically the same thing. And what do they think we elect them for? I don't understand.
The last caller indicated that there has not been a meeting with the farmers and the minister as yet, and persons, they want to meet with the person who would have the greatest say.
Exactly.
In
the
that
person that they elected.
Yeah. And so,
or maybe not elected, but the point is, it's a democracy.
Yeah, and the point is that person has the responsibility of the ministry, and so ought to, meet with members within the ministry, and of course that is one of the issues the farmers would have highlighted. I don't know if they've had a meeting yet.
And what I meant by not electing, meaning you may not have voted for that person,
Yeah.
but that is not the point. We're on
Exactly.
petitions and divisions at first.
And
know?
all the benefits of the state should be awarded to citizens of the state
Exactly.
without discrimination.
Exactly.
In fact, I had my class yesterday at CFBC, and we were talking about judicial review, where it is that the court may review decisions and acts of public bodies. And, one of the discussion we had was where a public body acts and considers irrelevant considerations like political affiliation and those of the like. So, it is something that is really within our society. It's something that we have to look at. And, society is complex. It's not a simple organism. It's a very complex organism. That's why you have courses like sociology, where you study society and the complexity. That's why you have areas of law, because they are rules, regulations, and they are complex.
I always I say to myself, partisanship is one of the worst examples of how irrational human beings can be.
Mm-hmm.
Because at the end of the day, the first thing that matters is that we're human beings. Maybe we're petitions and division second,
Yes.
and everything else, as far as I'm concerned, is well, politics should be a distant third. As far, maybe not even third, maybe further down the list even.
Yeah.
Because everyone can't think alike.
And everyone won't agree on the same
Exactly.
thing. And this is what I always say, regardless of your religious belief, regardless, even when we had the discussion yesterday on sexuality, regardless of your own, what you believe, everyone is not going to be the same. Everyone is not going to share the same views. But we ought to respect that individuals have their right to their opinion, respect that individuals have their right to their own belief, and try to work together as a whole. Try to work together as a whole. And I know it's probably said it's easier done than said. It's easier said than done, sorry. But
I was just about to tease you about that.
yes. But, we have to try to move our society along where it is that we are able to grasp the difficult topics. We are able to come up with some solution to these topics and not say, well, it was done in the past this way and it ought to be this way all the time, or members of this party did this and members of this party did that. So there should be some sort of change and some sort of resolution going forward.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like in a lot of ways our politicians act like children. I mean, that whole thing you just mentioned about oh well, so and so they used to do so and so. I mean, yeah, really?
Yeah.
Is that your best? Is that your best answer?
And it is my belief that every administration that goes in should try to do better than the one before, not worse. You ought to do better than the one before.
And granted, it's not a matter of let's say petty rivalry in the sense of, oh, I'm gonna do better than you just for the sake of doing better than you. It should be about
The progression.
And the public good, and the
Mhm.
common good, and the greater good, and all that. I'm gonna keep saying that. But hey,
I mean, I often say that sometimes in order to make these suitable changes, whoever is elected would have to think about the country as a whole and think of the country perhaps not as a political animal, but as a structure, as a civil animal, where you
organism,
a
a civil organism.
yeah, where you try to push everyone's, in a kind of respectable way, in a kind of understanding way, regardless of political affiliation. It might take that person or that government might get, or that administration might get maybe one term, or
And
maybe it is that the people like it and they get more terms.
Exactly.
You understand? But it
Exactly.
has to. We have to.
We need some political balls, let's say.
Some
People-
political
yes,
maturity, you know.
Maturity
Yeah.
and boldness.
Yeah.
And I don't mean boldness in the, I mean boldness in the best sense. I mean making the hard decisions and doing this stuff that all these other so-called politicians have been running from
Yeah.
over the years, over the decades.
Because you often hear, you know, of politicians that they're going to be the minister, the prime minister for all. And when they get in there, you realize they're only the prime minister for their supporters or perceived supporters.
I mean,
And you realize that some of the benefits are only afforded to those persons who support their party and known supporters of the party.
but but when you say that, I always hear there's always been this litany of complaints from. I've had friends who say, "Oh, when so and so is in, look, it's only the people from the opposition are benefiting." And you constantly hear that. When Team Unity was in, you hear Team Unity people saying, "Oh, Labour people are getting through." I'm like, so what?
I mean,
Everybody's supposed to get through.
I mean-
Okay, if you want to have a conversation about maybe ministers seeming to help people who support the opposition, and maybe more so than others. I mean,
Yeah.
we that's just anecdotal. We don't know. We don't know if that's what's really going on. But
and
if-
Jamsa, your comments are, you hear it because when Team Unity was in, you had a lot of persons saying, well, Labour still in power because a lot of Labour persons are still benefiting. And at the end of the day, you wonder, is it that, you're supposed to just eradicate those who don't support you? You know?
I mean, this is so petty to me.
I think,
I mean, okay, I understand
Mhm.
if a minister, for example, maybe I can understand to a point where a minister will maybe there's someone who supports the opposition who he feels like, I'm gonna help this person because I think I like this person or whatever, and people look at it as he's helping that Labour person. I mean, this is nonsense.
yeah.
First thing, they can't help everybody.
Mhm.
And there might be a very compelling reason why that person who so happens to support the opposition, why they got what there
And
could
the-
have been
the thing about it,
certain confluence of circumstances that said, okay, I have to help this person.
And the
I
thing
mean, why
about
is
it,
that? Why this-
people vote for
I-
different
I don't
reasons.
understand.
People vote for different reasons. People might vote because of party allegiance. People might vote because of the candidate. People might vote because of the issues. You don't know why it is that some person voted a particular way at a particular time. It might have been the issue at hand, and perhaps maybe the policies
I
that were
honestly-
discussed.
I honestly don't have a lot of patience with people when they come. Oh, they're only helping Labour people. Oh, they're only helping PAM people. Oh, they only. I really don't have any time for that.
I think any government that's in should be a government for all people. Once
Yeah,
it
they
is
should-
that
they should try
once
that.
it is that citizen, regardless of political affiliation, once that citizen meets the checklist,
Exactly.
they should be treated as citizens of St. Kitts and Nevis.
I mean, I've heard people talk about that they're trying to get one of those government homes, and they're
Mhm.
saying, "Oh, this Labour person got a house." I'm like, well, maybe they were ahead of you in the line. Maybe not, but maybe they
And
were
the
ahead
thing
of you in the line.
and even with the distribution of houses, if you take it strictly political, I mean, there are going to be some persons who look out for their supporters, but if you take it strictly political, there are some persons who might have supported you during the last election, and we've seen this in the 2022 election. Persons who might have supported you in the 2020 election, and then you gave them a house, and at the end of the day, they've supported a different party.
Let's take a
So there's
call.
no guarantee that that person will support you. So you should be fair throughout. Go ahead, caller.
Yeah, good morning, guys.
Hi, what's up?
Johnson, Azard,
Yes.
Journey here.
Journey, what's up?
Can I say something, talk about something I heard in your news this morning?
Sure, Journey.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Now, my thing is with Kamala Harris, Vice President Kamala Harris visit Accra in Ghana, and she met with the youths in Ghana.
Yeah.
Now, looking back at Susan Rice under the, I think was the Clinton administration,
No, no,
when
Bush.
Susan
Bush.
Rice.
Bush.
Thank you.
Yeah, George W. Bush. Yeah,
Susan Rice went to South Africa. Now, it's almost like it's a pattern, in my opinion. It's a pattern where I'm seeing black women in power in America politics. And it saddens me that these people haven't recognized that they're being used. Now, we have had President Joe Biden say he chosen Kamala Harris for a reason. And we know that reason was to corner the black votes for the Biden administration. These things been happening for centuries, gentlemen. My thing is, when are we going to wake up? Now, the hard question that would have been asked was not asked with Kamala Harris in Ghana. Because here we have the Biden administration is pumping billions of dollars into Ukraine. And they offer African, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, if you guys know, was it $400 million to share with the Africans? I mean, what is this with us? And we feel like this drop in the bucket is something to appease us. Like this, where can $400 million go compared to $75 billion into Ukraine? And here we have Kamala Harris in Nigeria, in Ghana, and it was a useless visit. And I'm not going to go further by saying that how Kamala Harris responded to the Haitian who was met with horsemen, whipping them at the border. I mean, I don't know if I missed something here, guys. But I think we need to pay attention to these events that are happening, because we cannot allow these things to happen. I mean, yes, Kamala Harris is bigging up women in authority in Ghana. She applaud women. But really, haven't we seen enough African American women in power in America? And they are just being used as thorns to make Africans feel like they're. I mean, this thing goes on, and we just accepting this insult. Gentlemen, I don't know how much you guys are aware of this, but it has to stop. It has to stop, and only we can make it stop. We have to be involved.
Yes.
No, we are here in
the first
thinking.
thing we have to start. We have to start working together more. That's for sure.
Yes, Jamsa, and this is my call. I am
American
calling
cousins.
for us to become as a unit, because I said this yesterday. We ruled the planet before, and we rule it with love and unity. Those who are ruling it now, they're ruling it with weapons and weapon of death and intimidation and assassination. So they struck fear in our people, and yes, our leaders have become corrupt, because once you accept, then you are a target to become assassinated. And that's the disease that is in us, because we are divided. Gentlemen, are you hearing me here in this?
Yes, we're hearing you.
We need to let our voices heard, even though we are small. We can make that difference, because we were a collective before they interrupted our space. And this is my call for our people. We must unite, because they divided us and it worked for them. Thank you for hearing me, gentlemen.
Okay.
Thank you
great.
for your contribution, Journey.
Yeah. I just saw a story here that you probably like. You remember those days when? You remember those days when let's say the American Airlines used to actually 9:30. Yeah. So you remember those days when American Airlines used to sponsor the St. Kitts Music Festival. I just saw a story here. American has added additional flights for the St. Kitts Music Festival.
Awesome news.
So that's good. Marsha Henderson, Tourism Minister of St. Kitts and Nevis, announced at the Roots America's Root Development Conference in Chicago that the airline will provide additional flights from Miami in support of the 25th St. Kitts Music Festival. So that's good to know.
Yeah, that's very good to know.
Yeah, and I was just told that the Toastmasters are here. So at 9:30, folks. So we're gonna have the Toastmasters joining us. It's 9:23 at the moment. Let's go to the phone line, see what's on this caller's mind. Caller, okay. You can always call back. Okay, here we go with another call. Caller, go right ahead.
Yeah, Jumpstone.
Hey, what's up?
I'm here, and Azard, I'm
Yes.
thinking. Now, according to a caller, that caller need to dance a yard before you go abroad, go dance. Has that caller ever come on the radio and asked these people who are using these guns and shooting down one another? No Caucasian people in St. Kitts killing the black people. The black killing black. So when that caller gonna come on and say, those two vice president, black voice, African American, they've been used by those politicians. In the 60s, when Dr. Martin Luther King had them demonstration in Memphis, Tennessee, when those Caucasian people were banging blacks and hooching dog on them, didn't we have Caucasian and black mix up demonstrating against the behavior? Did anybody say, well, then the black using those Caucasian? Everybody mix up. So why every time that caller come on, he always coming on with black this and black that and African? Now the vice president went to Africa. How could he determine with that she went there for what he assumed? Eh? If they never had Africa in the mind, they would not have got there. China got Africa in the mind because of what they could get from Africa. And all those other countries were running in Africa now and utilizing the things in Africa. And through that, they ain't going to need to tell the black them stop kill one another. They're going to need for what they want. So we must be fair. Must be fair. If you see black killing black, tell them stop it. If you see Caucasian killing Caucasian, tell them stop it. Nobody's supposed to be killing nobody for no land. When you go on a battlefield, them all on the east, for you not them on the west. Well, that's a different thing. But if you are on the battlefield, nobody could come in and tell me or anyone of you guys in the radio station, take up a sword or a gun and go and kill the brother. Every man has a right to decide his own destiny. Everyone have their own brains with their own conscience. Let your own conscience be your guide. So let come better than that, man. That's a yard here. Look how many killing we done had for the year. 6 in St. Kitts and 1 in Nevis. Talk about these here. Tell them put on they're gonna stop this killing. This killing ain't so good. And no Caucasian killing the black people here in Nevis and St. Kitts with a gun. Okay, gentlemen. Thanks for listening, man.
Well said. Okay, before it's 9:26. Before we go to the break and acknowledge Tap Water Caribbean, I want to read this to and apprise the listeners of this. I just sent it to you, Azard.
Okay.
The 2023 Sir Probin Innes Memorial Lecture. The topic will be celebrating 400 years of ancestral creativity and ingenuity, and the presenter is Auntie, Professor Jessica Byron Reed. That was one of my my aunt's friends.
Yes.
When my aunt was babysitting me, they used to drag me all over the place.
Oh.
As a kid, yeah. So
Yes.
so she's a formerly director, Institute of International Relations at the St. Augustine campus in Trinidad and Tobago, and a former lecturer at Department of Government at Mona campus in Jamaica. So the Sir Probin Innes Memorial Lecture happens on Thursday. That's tomorrow, March 30, from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. I'm going to be sending this to a bunch of my friends. So those of you who receive this link, just keep sharing it. It's going to be live streamed on Facebook and the UE campus website and so on. So it's a History and Heritage Month online event. So don't forget, the Sir Probin Innes Memorial Lecture. The presenter is Professor Jessica Byron Reed, and that's happening Thursday from 6 p.m. in Jamaica, and at 7 p.m. Eastern Caribbean time. Okay, so 9:27. We're gonna take a quick break here from Tapwater Caribbean, and we have the Toastmasters coming up at 9:30.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
Do you want to improve the quality of your water? Is buying bottled water costing you a fortune? Say no to bottled water and yes to Tapwater Caribbean and Espo Water Solutions. We offer eco-friendly filtration products such as our Ultra Filter or our Bottle Pro for at home or on the go. Fill up anywhere. We also have a Shower Pro designed to protect and give you healthy skin. Visit us today at tapwatercaribbean.com or on Facebook and Instagram. Let's drink clean, pure, healthy water together. Remember, go green, save money, and save our planet.
Found the sound. 98.9.
Sardine have a new vibe. Brunswick sardine have a new. Brunswick sardine fillet. It have a new vibe. You hear what me say? Run go to your favorite supermarket or corner shop and grab a couple things today. Cause this a sitting where everybody a go like. Brunswick sardine have a new vibe. 5 different flavors for you to try. Brunswick sardine have a new vibe. Plus it boneless. Oh yes, that's right. Brunswick sardine have a new vibe. Packed with nutrition in every bite. It tastes nice. Brunswick sardine have a new vibe.
Hey kids, drink healthy.
Reduce sugar chubby with the same great taste. Lots of magic fruity flavors. Drink the more healthy way.
It tastes so yummy, chubby, chubby.
25% less sugar chubby. Be active, be healthy. Drink lots of chubby. Kicking football, playing cricket, having fun in the sun.
It's chubby.
Reduced sugar chubby keeps you cool and refreshed.
It tastes so yummy, chubby, chubby.
25% less sugar chubby. Jumping rope, running races, have fun.
It tastes so yummy, chubby.
Drink the more healthy way.
St. Kitts and Nevis listens to
Win FM 98.9.
Win FM 98.9.
Well, it's 9:30, and as promised, we've got the Toastmasters in office.
Yes, the
studio.
Toastmasters, the Sugar City Toastmasters, and they are celebrating their week of activities from March 26th to April 1st. So the activities and the celebration has already begun. So could you introduce yourself, because we have two representatives here from the Sugar City Toastmasters.
Good morning, everyone. Thanks for having us. My name is Eartha Cassius, and I'm the current president of Sugar City Toastmasters Club.
Good morning, everyone. I am Janelle Brown. I am the current vice president of public relations for the Sugar City Toastmasters Club.
Okay, before going into the week of activities, for persons out there who might not be familiar with your Toastmasters, could you give us just a brief synopsis of what the organization is about?
Okay. All right, so Toastmasters is a club that is international, and it focuses on your leadership skills, specifically public speaking. So public relations, impromptu speaking, that's what the club is really all about.
Mm-hmm. And what about the membership? Is the membership here in St. Kitts and Nevis, you say, is a high one? You said a lot of persons are interested, a lot of persons know about it?
I would definitely say a lot of persons are interested. Our membership is good at Sugar City, and persons are always interested. We worship together on Sunday at St. Peter's Anglican, and afterwards people were asking us for our contact number and contact information. We also have another club here in St. Kitts, the CFBC Excellence Toastmasters Club, and they will just be 3 years old later this year.
Okay.
So one of the activities this week, at the end of the week, we're having a joint meeting with them at CFBC main campus in the Poinciana conference room. So let me take this opportunity to invite all of you who are listening to us, come and get a feel of what Toastmasters can do for you. We are the only organization that focuses on self-development, building those skills. In the education program, our education program is called Pathways, and it's an online track, and we have 11 different paths that you could choose from. And as you progress in your paths, there's usually 5 paths, 5 levels for each path. And as you progress in your path, as you finish each level, you can get a certificate. And these are things you can use in your workplace. And also, they always ask you if you like a letter sent to your job. We also have members that their companies pay for them to be a member. So if persons think that it can benefit them in that way, they can use, because it does really assist.
So what are the membership fees then?
So it's $45 and it's required every 6 months, and there is a local fee of, what's the local fee again?
But the local fee always depends on the club.
Yes.
But the $45 is for everybody internationally, and that's every 6 months, and there's a one-time new member fee of $20 US.
Right.
Okay then.
So even if sometimes we have people may pause, they might be doing studies, so they take a break, and when they come back, they won't have that new member fee to pay again, because Toastmaster is just a one-time.
So it's a co-ed club, right? I know we have 2 females here, so I was wondering, is it just females or?
We do have males in our club.
We have males.
You have males. Okay.
Yes.
Oh, just checking.
And Toastmasters was actually founded by a male, Ralph Smedley, and it was founded in 1924.
So if persons are interested in becoming members, one thing to know that there's a membership fee and there's a first application fee, Who do they contact and where do they go if they are interested?
Well, they can visit our Facebook page, that's Sugar City Toastmasters, and there you'll see information on, I guess, who you could contact. You could also come to our meetings. We would have meetings at various locations. Right now we don't have a home since COVID, but we'd advertise on our Facebook pages, where we'd have our meetings, and every first and the third Saturday of the month we would have meetings. So it's either via Zoom or, a physical meeting, which we would have advertised. So what I would advise persons to do is, see our social media pages and see where we're meeting, and then they would visit the meeting and then have a kind of feel of what the meeting is like. And then from there, you would express your interest in becoming a member or, taking part in the club, etc.
Okay, awesome.
Can I just add to that? Well, there are some persons who already know and understand the Toastmasters brand, so it's not required like you have to come to a meeting to join.
Yes.
So once they are interested, they can contact us. The other thing to note is, once a Toastmaster, you are welcome to go to any club. So CFBC Excellence, their meetings on Wednesdays, every second and fourth Wednesday, from 5:30 to 7, and Sugar City, we are first and third Saturdays. So if you love your weekends, you want your weekend to yourself, your CFBC. But if you have time on the weekend, of course, Sugar City is right here to accommodate you.
Wonderful. So tell us now about your week of activities. It started on the 26th of March and concludes on the 1st of April.
Okay, so we have a mixture of activities for the week. We started out with a church service on Sunday. We've been on social media on Monday, where Toastmasters will be sharing why they joined Toastmasters, why other persons should join Toastmasters. We exalted, I guess, and big up other Toastmasters yesterday. So yesterday was Toastmaster Crush Tuesday.
Okay.
Today we're on the radio. Tomorrow we have a games night and a potluck. And Friday you'll see Toastmasters all across the Federation wearing their pins. And on Saturday we have our anniversary meeting at CFBC Excellence.
Okay then, awesome. Could you give us an idea of the membership?
For Sugar City, we have over 20 members. So we have about 25 members registered right now. And we are accepting membership as well right now. So if you're interested, come on up on Saturday. I'll be looking forward to welcoming you to Sugar City. and get a feel of what we're all about.
I have a question. Someone asked, is there an age limit or 60-year-olds welcome?
Absolutely. 60 years old are welcome. We have Toastmasters who are over 90, not in our club, but we have Toastmasters who are over 90. You have to be 18-year-old to be able
To join, right.
to join. But if you're not 18 as yet, you're welcome. You can still come to the meetings. You can still participate until you are legal to sign on that dotted line.
Yes.
So I guess technically you guys are sort of like a mentor. You'd have like a mentoring.
A mentor program,
Yes.
yes.
Yes, the club offers that, and the advantage that we have right now, because we went online so much, Toastmasters was already online before the pandemic, but now we have more hybrid meetings that your mentor does not have to be in the same club with you. So your mentor perhaps can be in Grenada, in Dominica, wherever we have a club, in District 81, which is the Caribbean. You can have a mentor from any other club.
That's pretty cool.
And one of the benefits of Toastmasters, just to expound, you have a mentor-mentee program. So once you join the Toastmasters club, you'd be assigned to a mentor, and then that person would give you, directions on how to navigate the Toastmasters system in terms of the website, how to get onto Basecamp, how to do your pathways, and they'd give you kind of guidance and, speaking in public and doing completing your tasks, etc.
Okay.
Your roles and stuff.
So minor or not, there's mentorship involved, because even if an adult joins, they need to be mentored too.
Yes.
Yes, you need to just
Yeah.
be guided, yes. Mentor, and there are parts about mentorship, and the mentor program is required for 6 months.
Yeah, I like
So
that. I
it's
like
up to you
that
if you want to
system.
continue it. Some people continue with the same mentor, and some people, they're able to fly early, so it's just absolutely up to you.
Sounds good. And so you talk about the CFBC. The CFBC is on Wednesday. Is it just a situation where it's two options, Wednesday and Saturday, or is it that you find that persons within CFBC themselves had an interest of forming perhaps a subgroup or a group? Is it a subgroup, or is it two different entities?
It's two different clubs.
Okay.
And this is new to the federation, but actually in countries like St. Martin, they have around 15 clubs.
Oh, in the same country.
Yeah, you can actually have as well corporate club, and we don't have any here yet in the federation, but we're hoping sometime soon, like one of the companies would want to get on board and have a corporate club. And
Okay.
sometimes for corporate clubs, they can choose their own times if they want to meet over lunchtime. But with the corporate clubs, they will decide who can join there. It's usually have to be employed by the corporation to be a member, and they will stipulate, and usually the corporation would pay the membership fees to Toastmasters International, and perhaps the corporate club would maybe charge you a small fee of 20 easy per month.
Okay, and I see it's Toastmasters International. So where is the headquarters, the grand headquarters located?
In Colorado.
Colorado.
Yeah.
Okay then, United States.
Yes.
Okay then.
But it actually started in California.
Okay then, great. Okay.
Well, let me ask a question. What's a typical? I actually got a comment here. Someone is saying that they're not getting a true sense of what the club is about. So let's do this exercise. Give me, each one of you will describe a typical meeting, but you'll choose a meeting where something different happened, as
Okay.
opposed to, rather than the two of you telling me about a meeting where this basically the same thing happened. So, Bertha, you
Okay.
first.
Thanks, Trevor.
Yeah.
But I am going to specifically invite this person to the meeting on Saturday, because this meeting is a different meeting. And at each meeting, we have roles that you play. For example, you have an counter who'd be checking for our filler words. For example, I've heard myself using so, and I think I heard somebody is saying like
Yeah.
They tend to remind you of those things. So at the end of the meeting, you'll give a report. We normally have a grammarian, and one of the most important things, we have a timer. It's important to speak within a certain amount of time to be able to keep to the necessary content. Now, on Saturday, the meeting is going to be different, because instead of the usual speeches, we're going to have a mock panel discussion. And these are things that your parts allow you to do, because the project that I am working on, this is one of the options that I have to do a mock panel discussion, and we're having it in that meeting.
Okay. So if persons are wondering, it's about the art of speaking and crafting and honing that art, the public speaking.
Yeah, go ahead.
I could give my own personal experience, so I'm going to use myself as an example, and that would give, I guess, an idea of why you would join Toastmasters. So as we explained before, it's a club that addresses the skills of public speaking. So I had a fear of speaking in public, and so I decided, I need to do something about this. And so I thought, let me see if there is any entity in St. Kitts or anywhere in the world that, would assist me with this. And so I found out about Toastmasters. So when you go to the Toastmasters Club and you become a member, you have to give speeches. So you have to prepare your thought to prepare your speeches. And so obviously you have to present your speeches. So you're learning to write your speech. You're learning to present. Each meeting would have something called a table topics, the table topics segment. We have competitions and all of that as well. But for persons who are afraid of speaking on the fly, this is where you would grow your impromptu skills. So you're put on the spot. You're either shown a picture, image, a video, and you have to speak off the top of your head.
Off the dome.
Right.
Like the rappers would say.
Exactly. so then I've shown you 3 scenarios. You learn to write, you learn to do speeches, and you're learning to speak impromptu. So that's the reason why you would join Toastmasters. And then you have to take part in roles as well. So while you're taking part in your roles, you're growing your leadership skills.
Yes.
So.
Can I expound on the speeches?
Yes, you may.
Besides just giving speeches in the club, we also have speech contests, and they start at club level. We already had our speech contest at club level, and then we progress to the area level. Because we are in clubs, and then clubs are in areas, then areas are in divisions, and then we are in district. We're in District 81, which is the Caribbean, and we are celebrating 20 years this year of District 81 in the Caribbean. Now, just on Sunday as well, besides going to church, there was also the Division E contest, and we are part of Division E. And we had 2 contestants enter, and Toastmaster Cynthia Jones won the humorous speech contest. So she'll be going on to the district level, the district conference in May. And Toastmaster Desiree Simon went in for the evaluation contest, and she came second. Now, evaluations are also something that we do as part of our meetings. When you present, you also have an evaluation. They tell you how well you did, what you need to improve on, how you're impacting the audience, how you made them feel. So there's always that feedback.
I have some good news for you guys. The very same person who gave me those critical comments, he wants to join, and
Awesome.
but I have more news.
Yes.
I'm intrigued, and I think I want to join as well. I just told him the same thing.
Awesome.
Okay.
So afterwards, you guys can tell me what I need to do. So who's gonna mentor me?
Trevor, what I'm gonna advise you, come to the club, you get a meeting, and you have a good feel for who you want to mentor you. I always suggest that. Get a good feel, see the Toastmasters in action, and you see who you want to mentor.
I think my mentor is in studio right now.
Oh, congratulations, Toastmaster Daniel. Yay. Back to the contest, I just also want to remember and recognize Toastmaster Leslie Broadbelt.
Yes.
Also this week, we are celebrating a president every day because this is our 8th year. So already we have had 7 presidents. And Toastmaster Leslie was our 4th president. She was also our 2nd president. And she is also the current district champion for table topics.
Okay. That's good.
Yes.
Is there any way that when these competitions are held that the public may be able to see?
Absolutely. Just follow us on Facebook because we post the information there.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. That would be interesting, to see the competition. I do like public speaking. I like debates. So to look on and see the competition, it will be something interesting.
Don't you guys do any kind of competitions because I think it would be a way to encourage people to join, where same way people go and do karaoke. I mean,
Well, like if we have impromptu
think
speaking,
of
we're actually planning something.
Yeah.
Yes. So follow us on Facebook to get
You know,
more
you
details.
could. I'm thinking about an idea where you could come to different organizations. Let's say Win FM, and you say, "Hey guys, we are here. And we want to have a competition, you know, and just something that's fun as well." And you get them enthused and involved. And you could go to other organization, and that's a way of pulling members. You have a member here already, prospective in Jams, and that's just from conversation.
Well, thanks for the idea, Toastmaster in waiting, as a confirm the date when we can come and do a public table topics contest, and we can have persons call in. And we
Yes.
can have the audience judge.
That'd be
And-
wonderful.
That'd be a
Yes.
brilliant
We could
idea.
do a
I
section
think
and
so
on the
too.
show, yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
A
could
table
definitely-
topics competition.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, that would be great. I think we'll discuss it in our group, and of course, you guys could give us a prospective date when we discuss it, and that'll be interesting for persons who would have the opportunity
Hey, and
to see.
there's a born hot air generator there. Get him to join.
I said Toastmaster in waiting. Azard.
I'm just teasing you.
I know he is, but I would be interested in just looking at the competition and perhaps even participating at that level. Yeah.
And once you come to our meetings, you are
Mhm.
welcome to participate in the
Mhm.
table topics.
Okay.
So participation is not restricted to members only.
Mhm.
So this gives persons a chance to get a feel of the club. And usually guests love the table topics
Mhm.
and they like competing in it.
It seems very interesting.
He says
It is.
he says he's interested nonetheless and looks forward to visiting and getting first-hand knowledge, understanding, and experience of the organization. And he also said the name he always knew the name implies something to do with public speaking. So he said hallelujah. So now he has a place he can go in.
Hallelujah to you too.
And Jamsa, I'm thinking persons who we look at pageantry, and we look at the persons who are involved in, whether at the high school level with the national talented teen, or even the national level as National Caribbean Queen competition. And this could be an organization where they hone their skills as it relates to public speaking, because you realize that the competition has an interview segment, and as an ambassador of St. Kitts and Nevis, as all these girls would be when they're participating.
You have to be quick on your feet.
Yeah.
And
So,
articulate. Yeah.
those persons interested in entering those competitions, I think it would be a good group to hone their skills.
Well, to be honest with you, in between November and December, perhaps even October,
Yes.
the carnival contestants, they visited CFBC Excellence Club a number of times.
Yes.
And we are actually allowed as Toastmasters, there are things that we're limited to do fundraising with, but one of the
Yes.
things that we can do is companies can ask us to do training in public speaking and all of that, and we can do those things.
Okay.
So we can agree on I would say would agree on the contribution prior, and once they let us know how many persons, and we agree with the time and what exactly they're looking for, that is something we're allowed to do.
Awesome. It's
Sounds good.
interesting.
Sounds good.
Is there any, as we wind down, because I know we have about 4 minutes until we, start to wrap, is there anything that you like to say to those persons listening at this time?
Well, I would like to tell persons, the Toastmasters Club is really a place where you'll be able to work on yourself. I know that public speaking is a great fear for many persons.
Yes.
Even if you're scared, the Toastmasters Club is a place where you'll be comfortable. You won't be criticized. Everybody is there to help each other. And what is good about the Toastmasters Club is you don't have one person that's training you. Everybody is there to support you. So you're able to, go up, and you're able to fumble in peace. And with practice, you'll just keep getting better and better and better and better.
Listening to you, I could hear a Jamaican accent.
Yes. Yes, I am Jamaican.
Yes.
Yes, I am Jamaican.
That's a distinct accent that you could hear,
That's funny because some persons don't hear it.
Yes,
I guess
yes.
it slips out now
Yeah,
and then.
But you know, I think I told Janelle one time. I always
Also,
say
you
that-
know Janelle before.
Yeah.
Yes, we know each other.
so I always say that there's a region in Jamaica where they speak exactly like us, or we speak exactly
Yes.
like them, because I've heard many Jamaicans who speak just like us, and I thought they
The
were British.
dialect.
Yeah.
But it's worse. To be honest, I find in Division sound closer to us.
To Jamaica.
Yes, especially when they go deep in the dialect, especially some of the words that they use. Yes, sounds like
Interesting.
Jamaica.
Okay.
But not to offend anyone, let me just let everyone know you are welcome to Sugar City, CFDC, no matter of your
Yes.
nationality. And we actually have members in the club, Guyanese.
Guyana,
We
right.
have had Trinidad. We have Grenada right now. I know CFBC has Antigua. We have the USA. So Toastmasters is anywhere in the world, and once you're wearing your pin, you go anywhere, people always recognize you, especially in airports. People would recognize you just from the pin and say, "Oh, are you a Toastmaster?"
Yeah.
And you never know what doors that could get you through.
Yeah.
So Toastmasters offers a great network and a wide variety of skills. And I would like to welcome each and everyone who's listening. Take some time for yourself. When was the last time you did something for you? Come and visit us and get a feel of what Toastmasters can do for you and how it can benefit your life.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, very good. I think we had a very fruitful discussion. I think the audience has a better understanding of what the Toastmaster organization is about.
Oh, fruitful indeed. They just scored 2 new members.
Yes.
At least.
Three
that I
years.
know about.
And I will.
Oh, him, yes.
I will try to go to one of the meetings to see how it is and participate, even if not a member, as someone who goes and looks on.
Yes, you're welcome to come, and I would just say the day just starting, so we started off with 3 new members. So reach out to us, follow us on Facebook.
And you could also check out our website. That's sugarcitytoastmasters.com. Yeah.
Sounds wonderful.
Okay. So as soon as you guys get off, I'm going to get numbers and all that stuff. So
Yes.
Of course.
Okay.
Thank you very
So
much
the
for
meeting
having
is this
us.
Saturday?
Thank you.
This
Yes, it's
Saturday,
that.
our joint meeting, very special with us and CFBC. So please come on out and get a feel, because once we say we want people to join Toastmasters, and if Saturdays don't work for you, why lose the opportunity?
Saturday,
there?
what time?
6:45.
6:45. Okay.
You can come, right?
It's a very specific time.
Well, it's 7 really, but
Yeah.
6:45.
You're lucky they didn't say 6:43.
I know. Which is just as valid as 6:45.
Exactly. When some
Want
people
it to
give a
be
time,
early.
when some people give a time and they might say, come 5:37. Why don't we ever say come 5:37? Why do we say come
It's true.
5:30
It's true.
or 5:45
It's true.
or 6 o'clock? Why not 6:01?
The Americans are very precise with their broadcasting times. So when they say so and so is going to start at 11:02, it's going to start at 11:02.
Yes.
But we assume we'll have many members on Saturday, many visitors, and we want you to come on time so that you can get seated, get comfortable.
Give us a venue again.
CFBC main campus in the Poinciana conference room that's
Okay.
upstairs on your right.
Okay, 6:45 on Saturday.
Yes.
Yes, please.
Great.
Yes.
Toastmasters.
Yeah.
Okay.
Awesome.
Sounds good. And nice to have you guys. And as soon as you guys figure out how you're going to do that karaoke for impromptu speaking, just let us
Table topics,
Yeah,
yes, and
yes.
the impromptu speaking. We
Yes.
set a date. And
I think that's a good way to pitch it.
Yes.
Yes.
Karaoke for people who want to speak. So,
For those
you
of
know.
us who can't sing.
Well, yeah,
That's true.
works.
Speaking karaoke.
Yeah,
Speaking
we have an opportunity to still
Yeah.
be in the competition, some competition.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, it's 3 minutes until 10 o'clock. And I want you guys to have a great day
Yeah.
and a great meeting on Saturday.
Okay,
Thank
thank you
you.
so much for having
Okay.
us.
Yes, and I have a Toastmaster terrific day. And
Awesome.
remember, tomorrow is our anniversary at Sugar City, so send us your best wishes on our Facebook page, please.
Yes, yes,
there you
yes.
Thank you.
Let's be reminded to do so tomorrow when we have our show.
Nice.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay,
Okay,
thank
guys.
you so much.
Thank you, guys.
Okay, don't rush out the building yet. I'm coming to
I
get
will
numbers
not
and
be
stuff.
rushing. I'm going to try to get you to sign the application right now.
Sure. Not a problem.
Yes.
Okay.
Rams is for you and me. Giving back to community. Rams is for you and me. Better for your family. Better service, better price, better value, better choice. Rewarding you for loyalty. Rams is for you and me. Better price and quality.
Okay, so we got 2 minutes left.
Yeah.
Azard, yeah. So
Yeah, so I mean, it's been a good morning, Jam. So we've had a very heated discussion, very interesting discussion. Not really heated this morning, but very interesting. We had some
and
points.
as far as the discussion with the farmers, not so much.
Yeah.
Not so heated because
Yeah,
they didn't
because
show up.
they didn't show up at all. And of course, we encourage persons out there who have views, farmers. This is your program. This is your time. The first program went so well that we had an appetite for persons who are interested in what is happening in St. Nevis as it relates to the farmers, and to see that they had a second program and to see
And they
no-
said they were showing up and they didn't show up
Yeah.
again. So let's put it on record that it's very disturbing that we live in a democracy and
Mhm.
farmers are afraid to show up to a whole segment. This is one of the few segments that's actually an hour. We actually gave them an hour.
Exactly. And you know what's important
and
too?
you think the agricultural department will be bending over backwards to help them.
And Jams, I think this is important
fact,
to
they're doing
recognize.
the opposite.
I think this is important to recognize. The farmers have paid for this slot. So it's a situation where they have paid for airtime, but because of the unfortunate chain of events, they're not even being able to utilize it.
Exactly.
And the reason why I call out being paid, because it shows the interest that they have. The
Exactly.
interest that they have.
And everyone, I mean, the whole nation has an interest
Mhm.
in being fed.
Yeah.
And reducing our import bill.
So it's not just that.
And
it's
you
not-
would think
yeah,
that the
so-
government would be on board with that.
So it's not just a situation where we willy-nilly have invited farmers and we're just trying to get them here. They have a
Yes.
vested interest. They have.
I mean, I don't care. I don't care who gets upset. Fight me.
Mm.
This is nonsense. A whole hour we put aside on Wednesdays. This
And
is the second week now, and the farmers can't show up because they're scared of what?
Yeah,
What are
and-
they scared of?
And again, this is something that they paid for.
Is
eh?
Kim? I want to.
This is
Is
some-
Kim Jong Un the prime
This
minister?
is something that they have paid
ridiculous.
for because they have an interest in
ridiculous.
in making the country
Everybody,
aware of
everybody
the
wants to get.
issues.
I'm really upset at this because I just had a WhatsApp with Troy. Troy asked me if the guy came. I said no, he didn't.
Uh-huh.
No, so.
In a free and
So
fair democratic state.
I have big balls. So anybody who wants to challenge me for talking about the nonsense that goes on around here, come on and try. Fight me.
It's sad that we are supposed to be living in a free, fair, and democratic state where we may not be as free and as fair as we hope to believe that we are.
I mean, I really thought they were going to show up today, you know. But somebody's put the fear of God into them clearly.
Yeah.
Samal, have a nice day. Anyway, that's gonna do it for Island Tea. We'll be back tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Okay.
Where we could speak freely,
Where
and
we can
fairly,
speak freely,
with
yeah.
respect, of course, and within the law. No problem.
WINN is 98.9. 98.9 is Win FM.
Buildings damaged by an earthquake are dangerous. This is not the time for sightseeing. you could be in personal danger and your presence could hamper emergency responses. Also, stay away from areas prone to landslides, low-lying coastal areas, lakes and streams.